Hello everyone, I'm Tessellating Hexagons with more Touch Detective. Without further ado, let's get started on Chapter 4. Yes, Chapter 4, Zombie Assault, The Tragedy of a Past Grudge. Now, I'm going to say right off the bat, this is the longest chapter in the game, so I'm going to split the first half of this chapter, into two separate episodes. One that I'm going to put up today, which, yeah, this is the first time doing same-day commentary, and one that I'm going to put up on Monday. So, this is the first quarter of Chapter 4. Now then, it's been a while since I've recorded commentary for this, and well, something seems wrong with Penelope. Again. It seems serious. Something must be seriously wrong. Oh dear. Well, maybe, I don't know, maybe she's just seen something mild, but she's overacting. I mean, this is Penelope we're talking about. Go on, don't keep us in suspense. What is it this time? Another snow fairy? Another stolen dream? Chloe! Chloe, go, where did you come from? Go home. Again with the inappropriate heart attack jokes. Don't even highlights go. Yeah, how did you? Just crying out loud, Chloe. Oh, a murder case? Well, this is extreme, but the music's still going, so it can't be that serious. Well, we'll just have to see. So, Penelope seems convinced that it's a murder case, but the music says otherwise. But, yeah. With the detectives, we'll get to the bottom of this. Oh, well, Cromwell seems convinced that it's not a murder. Well, he has a good point. Everything does seem fine, so... yeah, it's just another one to put Penelope's mind at ease. Then the music cuts out. Maybe it is serious. Funny thing, like, in this game that there's a supposed murder case. We know from the title of the episode it's only an assault, so it's still serious, don't get me wrong, but it's not a murder. Then the next game, there's one involving a corpse, but I'm not going to spoil too much about that. Anyway, I don't think you actually have to talk to Cromwell here, but I did anyway because I didn't do it on a practice file, just wanted to see if I had anything worth saying. Don't think he does. So I've gone a bit quiet, so I think I might be about to sneeze, but now I'm talking it's going away again. It's because it's winter here in the UK, and despite that, still no snow. It's just been nothing but rain and floods, but that aside, we'll head over to Penelope's place because we should probably get some more details about what she saw before we can, start panicking about, we might get killed. So, yeah, never mind the fact that you'd report to the police. First of all, tell us more. A suspicious shadow, you say? Well, it's kind of a deductive leap to say it was a murder. Writhing in pain. She really does like that expression. The same way that in Chapter 2, I didn't point this out at the time, but in Chapter 2, Chloe seems obsessed with the expression to catch a rat by its tail. And now she's just obsessing over writhing in pain. But it was only a shadow, so she's assumed quite a bit here. Maybe it was censored. I love that line. I'd forgotten she said it, but yeah, that's a brilliant line. Anyway, we'll just grab this because you're too scared of a murderer to go out, and it's some sort of stamp card. So it belongs to the pastry chef. Well, it belongs to Penelope, but it's a competition run by the pastry chef. We only need one more stamp. Well, how are we going to get that? We have to go and buy something from Antoinette or something? We don't have any money. Well, whatever. We can now go to the circus, because that's kind of where stuff's happening. Item for touch list there. Now, it should be noted that this letterbox here, which we need to inspect anyway to get a thing from, now that's an item for the touch list, but I don't think you can get it until the bonus episode. So, oh, that's convenient. We've found a stamp and a very threatening letter. I misread that as "watch your balls." Oh my. So yeah, that's how we got open toward the corner. I never noticed that detail before. So that's not a postage stamp, it's one of these stamps. Now, it's just occurred to me that if you think about where that stamp must have come from, it kind of tells you right off the bat who did who's sending this threatening letter. Again, fussy clicking, but, you know, gramophone horn that's going to come in handy, I'm sure. And another touchless item. And what is that on stage up there? Looks kind of like Noah's Ark, but smaller. My mind is absolutely everywhere at the moment, because it's Sunday, I'm feeling lazy, and murders only happen with those forensic crime shows, yep, because that's totally why we have a word for it. Even Mackenzie doesn't know what it is. Anyway, we'll head around the back, and appears to be the Circus Master. And we can talk to him about some stuff, like the murder case. He doesn't seem too concerned. In fact, he doesn't seem aware that a murder even took place. Interesting. Well, when will the circus open then? Because we had all this talk about it being in town but not being open. And apparently it won't open until it's retro. Now, we'll show him the letter, because this is kind of an important thing. And it just serves to piss him off. Now, one thing that I just want to point out at this point. Now, when I was making notes for this commentary, for the LP itself, one thing that I saw, I don't remember what it said, but it seemed to disagree with me about the species of the Circus Master. I'm fairly sure he's some kind of polar bear, but the internet doesn't agree with me, so answers on a postcard, please. What is he meant to be? Because he looks like a polar bear to me. He always has been, always will do. So, anyway, back on topic here. He seems quite adamant that a murder hasn't taken place, and no one's been killed. Oh, well, someone's injured, so well, that's the eponymous assault. Circus member A? You're kind of a dick then if you can't... Oh, that's just a dickish thing. He's been injured, you tool! Well, let's go and talk to Circus member A then, because something must be seriously wrong. You know, if they could be... Oh, he's in a coma. This is serious then, I mean, he's not dead, but that doesn't mean it's any less serious. But you are a dick, good sir. My goodness. But how are we supposed to investigate if you're not going to let us into the tent? You're just an awful person. I don't even. Well, frustrating polar bears aside, we'll just head into the shopping plaza because we have things to attend to. Chiefly, we're going to hand in this stamp card and get a reward. Almost over. Well, his tattoo thing that he was talking about in the first episode, this is where it finally becomes important. Because, in case you haven't guessed, he is a circus performer. Christ, that's annoying. I think that's kind of proof that Mackenzie's still a kid at heart. Well, not enough for her to see the fairy, but... context. Anyway, now the same thing that I saw on the internet that said the Circus Master wasn't polar bear, also said that this was a man. This is clearly a woman. Pink skin, female voice, it's even confirmed in the second game that this is a woman. Well, whatever. So, apparently she's seen the Master of Fortune Telling, or the Fortune Teller herself. I think she's called Katrina, just like in Animal Crossing. So, we'll just talk to her, see if she can give us any information about what happened. Well, come on. Tell us something useful. You never tell us anything useful. I've got that feeling that I'm about to sneeze again, but it's just not going to happen, is it? So... Oh, dark magic. That's such a brilliant curse. But it seems that the Circus Master is as much of a dick as we thought. Oh, and apparently the two people guarding the door here have names, Myron and Myrtle, plus Lugal, Dover, like I said, and Beatrice, and also Shorty from the park. They're all former members of the circus. So these are the key people we need to talk to in order to get to the bottom of what happened, because they have experience with the circus, they know that the Circus Master is a dick, and we can get to the bottom of who sent the blackmail, and they did the assault, and blibbity blibbity blur words. So, not only is the Circus Master a dick, but he's also a bit of a fraudster by the sound of it. But Katrina doesn't agree. Apparently he's just not clever enough. Which, having played this game, I could believe that. And now that's something that you need to remember. He can't remember that, he wouldn't remember that his hat's on his head. That becomes surprisingly pertinent later on, not to spoil anything. But just bear that line in mind. So, Mario and Myrtle only speak in gestures. I don't know how you can infer so much from someone just waving their hand and shaking their ponytail. And these two make a return in the next game, but they work somewhere else entirely. So, what are they actually meant to be anyway? No, I'm sorry, I'm not paying any attention to what they're saying, but yeah, like egg people with hair. Now, looking for Dover, but he's still notably, which is weird because I do know that he's supposed to appear in there, and for some reason he just wasn't appearing for like most of this video, and I don't know why. Anyway, we'll talk to Beatrice because she's another one of the people on our hit list of former members of the circus. Hit list, sorry. Accidental pun based on the nature of the case. So she's just going to play dumb until we straight up tell her, we know you used to work for the circus. With your weird air pump fetish. Because that was her act. And she did it for the money, that's what they all say. Yeah. There's the proof. She sort of did the whole fetishy air pump thing. Do pardon my nose. Got a bit of the sniffles because of the weather. So the tools we used in the first episode, well in chapter 1, they were compensation for getting kicked out of the circus and not being paid, it seems. Well, it's kind of against what she said before, because she said the air pump was nostalgic and she loved it, whereas now she's like, I tried to sell it but no one wanted it, so I'm just going to leave it on the roof to rot. Make up your mind, woman. And yeah, so Shorty the hot dog guy. Again, he appears in the next game, in somewhere else entirely, but speaking too much about the next game in this episode, I think. Now then, I don't actually remember where we go from here. Oh yes, duh, we need to talk to Shorty, don't we? Let's see if he has anything useful to say about the Circus Master and the other members in the circus itself. Seems to be the only person who has good memories about it. The other members were all good people, including him, of course. And the Circus Master himself? So he's a brilliant performer but a terrible person, but we've established that much. We've established that the Circus Master is a dick. I might call this episode that because I've been saying it so much. No, we'll head over to the circus now because we have stuff to do. Yeah, so we should talk to him because we've spoken to all the ex-members and... well, that sounds kind of dramatic. Oh, something's happened to someone called Johnny. Perhaps he's fallen victim to the same tragedy as circus member A. So, there's a star of the circus, but... this is interesting. Maybe you're a horrible person, seriously. Again, excuse my nose. So, Johnny and circus member A were both seriously injured. So, now we're doing a criminal investigation on not just a blackmailer, but now he cares about who's doing the assault because Johnny's been affected. I can't say it enough times, the Circus Master is a dick. Also Chloe, just getting so wrapped up in how much of a bad person the Circus Master is. You don't even notice that Chloe's arrived. Now, do be aware that at the end of this scene, we're going to head into the circus tent, and I'm going to cut it rather abruptly because this episode would have been like half an hour long if I hadn't done that, and I don't want to have a stupidly long episode. I mean, I know some of them are like 25 minutes long, but that's where I draw the line. So now we're gonna... We're gonna head in there, and then I'll cut the episode rather abruptly, and there's a cage. See you next time, everyone.